Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing good. Now we are going to understand how to give input and how to get output from pandas. So let us understand. Let us understand on how to provide different kind of inputs and how to get output in pandas. So if you see here, guys, I have listed few formats of data by which we can give input. These are few. There are so many. So well, these are the mostly used, guys. One is CSV, one is Excel, another one is HTML or SQL. However, and I have shown you how to give JSON, right? So and these are the different ways we can provide input. So one is a read CSV. So if you have a CSV file, right, where you have data, so you can just give read underscore CSV, and with that the data will be inserted into your or or it will create a data frame, right? Once you will give input to this, then what is the output? You will get data frame. Then we have read clipboard. Read clipboard means like it will read the data from clipboard and it will store it in clipboard means, right, anywhere, like if it's a text file or if it is a sticky note or anywhere. If you want to copy something, you are just selecting some text area and you are copying that part. You can store it in CSV, which is nothing but a read clipboard. Then we have read underscore SQL, right? With that you can you all MySQL or SQL records, right? You can create data frame using it. Then we have read underscore Excel, where you can read like data from an Excel file. I have shown you there, but now we will understand more practical way all these things, right? Now we will see how to get we understood on how to get JSON, right? The same thing, like this is read underscore JSON. Then we have read underscore table. If you have a table, then that can be inserted here. Then we have SQL underscore table. So on the top side we have seen MySQL record. Here, if you have a SQL database, like a particular SQL database, that particular table we can get read underscore SQL underscore table. Then we have read underscore HTML, where like if you have web page, right? Any web page is getting saved as a hypertext markup language, correct? That is HTML. So that particular table, if you are able to see it in your web page, if you want to save it or you want to create a data frame out of it, you can use read underscore HTML. Then you have read underscore pickle. Pickle, guys, I said you that whenever like this is one format of saving any machine, what I can say, machine output, or what I can say, the machine once the machine like machine learning, every algo and everything is done. Once the machine is trained properly, you can save that file as a pickle file. So that is nothing but PSCKLE, and we will see everything how to store pickle file, how to again reinsert, like after training the model, right? You want to give again input to that model, right? Everything we will see in our upcoming. So stay tuned to this channel. And like okay, so this one like, so if you have a already trained model, if you want to read, this is how you can read. Like this is how you can load that pickle, read underscore pickle, right? Now we will see few of the important uh, format on how to give input to the data or pandas, or how to create a data frame from different kind of input. So the first one is how we will read data from CSV, and like I already said, I have already shown you uh, this like you have to give input. You have to import pandas library as PD. Then you can just give a naming like df underscore CSV or data underscore CSV. Anything is fine for you. Then you can just do pd.read CSV. So guys, I have already shown you on how to directly read the CSV. So most of the times we are preferring this. There is another way where you can just keep like this. You just need to give R, and here you need to give the absolute path. Absolute path means the complete path from where that file is present. But I have seen in most of the scenarios it is not working. I have seen it. I have faced that situation. So you can, so always it is a good practice that you can keep your file directly in your in your runtime path or in your path. If it is a Jupyter Lab, you can put where the file is present, right? Your IPYNB, that file is present. At that place only you can upload your file. Wherever, whereas in your Colab, you can come here. So if you see right here, files on your left side corner. So you can see one upload to session storage. So it is a runtime, guys. Whenever that session will be over, you have to again reload those files. So let me select all these files and load it. So now I want to read the data from my CSV file, right? So this is how I am able to read my CSV file. Let me run it. Okay. See, I got my data. However, okay, just let me show you one thing. If I am reading my data like this, I am getting the whole data. However, we have one method of dot head in case of pandas. So with that, by default, like what head is doing, by default it will show you the top 5 rows of that particular data set. So here I am able to see the top 5 rows, correct? If you want to see the bottom 5, like you don't know what is the size of initially when you're loading the data set and you don't know what is the size of that particular data set, then you can just type dot tail here. So with that, it will show you the bottom 5 rows of that data set, right? So head means it will show you the top 5 rows. Bottom means it will show you the bottom 5 rows, and we will understand more in our upcoming videos. This one just I have shown you here. So so with that you can see what is the last row, right? With that it is helpful that you can understand what is the last row of your data set and what is the count. Like you can assume, okay, what is the count here? And going further, okay, let me just let me cover these things. Then after that I will show you where you can get the practice data sets more. Like there are 2 repositories and one is getting handled by government and another is there where you can download data sets and you can try and you can practice, right? So I will show you that, but let me finish it. So next we will see how to read data from Excel. So how to read data from Excel? We have read underscore Excel here, right? Here again see that student.xlsx I have given input and I am able to get output out of it. So see, and one more thing, guys, right? If you will see this data frame, this is a data frame, right? This is your column, right? This ID is one column, name is another column, class is another column, mark is another column, gender is another column. However, these things, right, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, by default, whenever some data frame is getting constructed or data frame is getting created, by default, the indexes will start from 0 and it's always a numerical index. If you want to change the index, I have shown you how can you change the index. You need to pass comma index and you can give a name. But here, in case of large data sets, it is a bit difficult to change the index because you have to give, because index you cannot change few, right? You have to change the complete index. Will it be looking good? Like if you change few, like if you have 1000 rows, you will go and change some 5 rows of index. No. So basically, like that is how you can change the index. But here, I have, what is my purpose of saying this? That my index is always a numeric, and it always starts with 0, right? Now let us see another example, how to read from dictionary. Okay, so here I have created a dictionary, right? I mean, These are my dictionaries, and we have name, age, and city, which will be converted as a column, right? Now let me see. See, I got my dictionary data, right? Now let us see. Now let me show you how to, like, what are the different, free platforms where you can download the data. So here one is a Kaggle, guys. Kaggle will, like, it's a really good one where you can directly just need to go to Google and you can just type Kaggle datasets. So it will like you will get this Kaggle, and you can just give a, like, you can keep this favorite or something, and you can see we have pandas practice for dataset. We have dataset for pandas, right? So it is a free platform where you can download all your datasets and you can start practicing. Here you can get smaller datasets to larger datasets. Like you have like 50,000 rows, 1 lakh rows, like that also you can get. Similarly, we have another place where UCI machine learning repository. So type here UCI machine learning repository. You should be able to get UCI machine learning repository. So here, all kind of what I can say, like the practical data, you will find it here, because here the governments, different governments are keeping the data sets here. Like if you see, if you want to get the real time data, this is where you will get the real time data. So these are the two repositories I thought of showing you. So you can go and start practicing on this. And after complete pandas class, right, after completing all pandas videos, I am going to show you how to create from start to end, like how to load the data, how to get clean data at the end with the visualization technique. Everything I'm going to put, and I'm going to show you one complete project. So you can take that example and you can start creating your own projects, right, with that. Now let us understand our next thing, which is nothing but how to save data to somewhere. Like you have created a data frame, right? Now you want to save it to somewhere. So this is how you can save it. So one option is to have two underscore clipboard. So data from data frame copy to clipboard. Like if you have data frame data, you can copy that to clipboard with two underscore clipboard. Then we have something called two underscore CSV. If you have some dictionary data or some other data, you can save it to CSV file. Again, two underscore dictionary DSF saving data to dictionary. Two underscore Excel saving data to Excel file. So basically my exercise here on why I have shown is that I want to give a feel of that we have different sources or different format of getting data and saving it, right? We have two underscore JSON, so where you can save the output data in JSON format. We have two underscore HTML. We have two underscore pickle. Like after creating your like after trained your model, you can save it to a two underscore pickle, right? By using two underscore pickle. Then we have two underscore SQL, two underscore string. Then we add data to MySQL from data. Like with insert, you can directly save the data to the MySQL. We will not go deeper because of our purpose is to show you here on how you can get the data and how you can work on the data, right? But however, you can just understand, okay, these are the different formats. And most of the times, like I have already mentioned, we are getting data in terms of, either Excel format or CSV format or SQL. Mostly we are getting from SQL. We have vector database. We have SQL database, right? From those places, we are getting the data. Now we will see one or two examples. So here you can see I have taken, I have import pandas. Then after that, I have taken a sample data frame where I have taken products. These are my different products and these are the prices associated with those products. Okay, then I have created a data frame, right? And this is how we can create a data frame, right? PD.dataFrame. I did it. Now I want to save that to CSV. So you can see Let me run. Okay. Now we will see whether that is created here or not. See, okay. If I want to print it, let me just print my data set. Now let me run it. So whenever you are creating any data set, right, like once it is saved, so you can see it is getting saved here, right? In your runtime session only will be saved, right? If you want to download before closing the session only, you have to come and download it, right? You can click on right click and you can download it. Or if you want to rename, you can rename it. But once the session will be over, guys, this will be gone. This file will be gone, and again you can't get it. You have to run again from static 12 to get those files. Then we have something called, here if you see, guys, I have taken index equal to false. So here what it is doing, my index equal to false, it prevents writing the data from index as column. So if I'll give index equal to true, show you what. So index equal to true and index equal to false means here, right, when you are telling index equal to true means it is telling the data from that index itself is a column. So let me run it again and show you the difference. Let me open this. So if you see, guys, this is your CSV file, right? So this CSV, you can see one more column got created here, right? You can see this 0, 1, 2 is one column, product is one column, price is one column. However, if I'm changing this to false, right? Let me change it to false. Let me again reopen this. See, if you'll give index equal to false, that means it is not going to create another index which is not needed for us, right? Like, do we need serial number in our data set to give input to machine? We don't need it. That is irrelevant, correct? So it has created only product and price. That serial number is not needed, so it has not created. So this is how index works, right? Then we have again how to save data to. So let me run it first and let me get the output again here. Int df at name df underscore output. Now let me run. You can see, guys, I have taken again few dictionary data item, then that item is having short and pant, then sizes and M&L and stock. Now I have created a data frame here, right? pd.data frame, and I have taken that input. Then I want to save this to Excel. This is how I can create output.xls index equal to false. Again, if you want to create a separate column, that index, if you want to create a separate column, or you can say it's a serial number, then you can go ahead. If not, then you can keep index equal to false, right? So we got the output here. Now let us see another example, how to save or how to write to a HTML, right? Now you can see we have few countries and capital of those countries, right? This is a sample data frame. Okay, now I have created a data frame out of it. Now I want to save this data frame to HTML. So this is how we can do, right? Dot to HTML. I have shown you that like in that section where how can we give input, we have to HTML in that list, right? So you can do like this output.html. So it will create a HTML file and the table will be coming there, right? Now let us see the output. And let us see whether, let me refresh it. Yeah, output.html is created. Now let me open it. See, it got created, right? Right? You can see the HTML format, everything like table, border, head, table head, then table body, then all the TD and TR columns, everything came here, right? So with that, you can convert that to HTML file as well. Now let us see the output here. Like what is the output we are getting? df output. See, So this is how my data frame is, but that is how your HTML file looks like, right? The same thing got presented in the HTML table format like PDTR and all. And if you'll open this in a web page, right? If you download this and open this in a web page, let me download this. So it got downloaded. Now let me open this. See, if I'll open this, right, it will be like this. Yeah. So if you'll open this, it got created something like this, right? Country, capital, USA. Like it said, typical HTML table, correct? So this is how we can work with web at the same time. So with that, we understood few of the important aspects of giving input and getting output in Pandas. Well, that is all for now. We will understand further Pandas topics in our upcoming videos. Till that time, see you. Start subscribing, guys. Like, share your comments, share your feedback. If you like the content, share this channel link to everyone who needs this. Bye. Take care. See you.